This is not a coincidence. 5 angels have been assigned to deliver a miracle to your house within 72 hours. Open this before it's too late. This message is not accidental, it's divinely orchestrated. This hour hath been etched into eternity. This moment, this exact second in which your eyes fall upon this message, is not the product of mere chance. Oh, beloved soul, this is not a coincidence. Heaven does not move randomly. Divine time is precise. It is measured in mercy, ordered in obedience, and delivered in moments like this. The fact that you are here is the evidence that heaven's calendar has aligned with your life. A spiritual clock, invisible but unstoppable, has struck a divine hour. The countdown has begun. You are living inside a 72-hour window of supernatural visitation, and 5 mighty angels have been dispatched from the throne of glory, each carrying a portion of your appointed miracle. The Lord of hosts has released 5 of his anointed messengers: Michael, the warrior of divine justice; Gabriel, the voice of sacred announcements; Raphael, the bringer of healing light; Uriel, the illuminator of hidden paths; and Jophiel, the angel of divine beauty and clarity. These are not mere symbols, they are sentient, commissioned beings, and they have been assigned to your house, your life, your situation, for such a time as this. They are not coming to visit randomly, they are arriving on orders, divine documents in hand, sealed with the authority of the Most High. This message was not broadcast to the multitudes, it was whispered to the hearts that have been found in obedience, expectation, and surrender. This message is for those who have been watching, weeping, and waiting. It is for the soul who has not bowed to fear, even in silence. It is for you, because you dared to keep believing even when nothing made sense. And now hear me clearly. There is a condition. The movement of heaven is activated by stillness on earth. When your spirit is calm, your ears open. When your soul is silent, your atmosphere becomes a landing strip for divine activity. Do not delay. Do not debate. Do not distract your spirit. Every second matters now. Delay could cost you alignment, but obedience will usher in a miracle that has been years in the making. You are standing at the edge of a supernatural intervention. The next 72 hours are not normal time, they are holy time. They are charged with motion, layered in mystery, and infused with divine presence. Stay alert. Stay ready, because heaven is about to knock. Type "I receive" in the comments if this message finds your spirit. Blessing code 5777 is now active. In this sacred moment, I lift my voice and my spirit before the throne of the Eternal One. In the name of the Most High, Elyon, the God who sees all, knows all, and moves all, I summon the presence of the 5 divine messengers, commissioned from the courts of heaven to fulfill a holy assignment upon your household. Michael, the sword-bearing guardian of righteousness; Gabriel, the voice of divine announcements; Raphael, the vessel of healing and restoration; Uriel, the revealer of hidden wisdom; and Jophiel, the illuminator of divine beauty and insight. Let it be known in the heavens and on the earth. This assignment is active. The countdown has begun. Within 72 hours, something unseen will be made manifest. A sound will stir in your atmosphere, maybe not to the human ear, but the spirit will know it. A shift will pass through the very walls of your dwelling. Light will bend in strange ways. Time will feel interrupted. A silence, not empty, but pregnant with promise, will settle around you. It will feel like the eye of a storm, but it is not danger that approaches. It is deliverance. It is heaven. This message is not for the masses. This is a selective dispatch, reserved for the marked ones, those whom heaven has called, tested, broken, and refined. You, beloved, have not stumbled here by digital algorithm. This isn't the work of code. This is the work of covenant. You were drawn here because heaven whispered your name into the winds. You were summoned because your spirit remained obedient when others mocked. You were chosen because you have survived battles in silence, without recognition or reward. But now the reward is on its way. You have cried, Lord, how long? You have begged, Father, when will the answer come? And now I declare to you, heaven has approved the release. The delay was not a denial. It was a divine calibration of timing. What was withheld was not because you weren't worthy, but because the angels hadn't yet been released. But now the gates are open. Now the scrolls are unsealed. Now the messengers are in flight. They do not arrive empty-handed. They come bearing 5 divine packages, each containing what your soul has long awaited. One carries peace, to silence every storm of the mind. One carries healing, to mend what doctors and time could not. One carries provision, unexpected resources, debts cleared, doors opened. One carries reconciliation, broken relationships mended by the Spirit. And one carries breakthrough, the irreversible shift into your next season. But be warned, and listen closely. If your spirit is distracted, you may miss the sound of their wings. They move subtly, not with fanfare, but with sacred intention. This is why stillness is commanded. This is why silence is your shield. You must prepare your heart, your hoe, and your hearing. Let nothing cloud your focus now. Not fear, not gossip, not conflict, not confusion. Heaven does not waste time. Neither should you. So pause now. Breathe. Do not scroll past this. This moment is your invitation to align. The atmosphere around you is shifting. You may not see it with your eyes, but your spirit knows. Something holy is approaching. Heaven is sending the carriers of your miracle, and they are closer than you think. Type "I am ready" in the comments if you receive this word. Lesson code 444 is now surrounding you. Something deep within you already knew. Before this message arrived, before these words reached your screen, your spirit had already been stirred. You couldn't explain it to anyone, not clearly, not fully, but something felt different. It was like a weight pressing on your chest at night, a silent whisper calling your name in the darkness, a heaviness in the room when no one was there. You were not losing your mind. You were not being paranoid. You were being prepared. The atmosphere around you had been shifting, and you could feel it long before your mind could catch up. There have been nights, long nights, where sleep was interrupted without cause. You wake at 3 a.m., eyes wide, heart racing, spirit alert. And still you wondered, why? You thought perhaps it was stress, or fatigue, or some internal restlessness. But no, it was none of those things. It was the nearness of the unseen. Heaven has been working behind the veil, and your soul sensed the spiritual disruption. And here's what you must know now. You were being watched, not only in the physical, but in the spiritual. There have been whispers in the dark, whispers of envy, of accusation, of opposition. There are some who have spoken your name in rooms your feet have never entered. There are spirits who recognize your rising before you did. What you've been feeling is not just emotional tension. It's not just personal chaos. It's been warfare, invisible but very real. A war waged in the spirit to delay what God has promised you. You've wondered why doors seem to open only to slam shut. You've questioned why prayers felt like echoes. You asked God, why does it feel like everything is getting harder the closer I get to breakthrough? And now you know, because the enemy knew before you did that 5 angels were on their way. Yes, 5 divine messengers, bearing packages marked with your name. And the enemy tried to intercept them through distraction, discouragement, and confusion. He tried to send people who would sow seeds of doubt. He tried to magnify every delay to make you question whether God still remembered. But listen now, heaven did not forget. Heaven was watching. Heaven was preparing. What you thought was silence was strategy. What you thought was rejection was realignment. What you thought was abandonment was heaven setting a trap for the enemy's schemes. There are things that tried to block this moment. People who tried to stop this release. Spirits who tried to confuse your path. But none of it worked. Because when heaven appoints a miracle, no hell can cancel it. There is a sacred unveiling that is about to take place. Your name has been etched in light, and the command has already been given. Heaven's agents are on their way. Do not be surprised if, over the next 72 hours, you feel strange emotions surface. You may weep without cause. You may feel a deep yearning rise in your chest. That's not weakness. That's spiritual readiness. That's your soul awakening to what's already moving in your direction. So I tell you this, embrace the mystery. Stop trying to explain everything. Stop demanding to understand what heaven has chosen to conceal for now. Some things are not meant to be figured out. They are meant to be received. What's coming doesn't need your logic. It needs your surrender. The silence of heaven was not a punishment. It was a preparation. Something sacred is about to break open, and your spirit is finally ready to carry it. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. The angels are already moving, but so are the seeds of the word we carry. If this message has spoken to your spirit, if you feel heaven pulling you into alignment, then I invite you to be part of what God is doing through this platform. Your support doesn't fund a video, it fuels a visitation. Every gift you sow helps bring this prophetic voice to souls who are desperate for a word in due season. The oil flows where the altar is built, and this altar is alive. Scripture says in Luke 6:38, "Give, and it shall be given unto you," and today, your giving becomes a key that unlocks someone else's miracle. I hear heaven saying, "Who will stand with the message I've released?" This is your moment to respond. You can activate your support through Super Thanks, membership, or directly through PayPal, linked in the description below. Don't wait. The same angels assigned to deliver miracles are releasing favor over every hand that sows. This isn't a donation. It's a prophetic transaction. Now go. Release it in faith. Watch heaven respond. Hear me now. The battles you've been facing were never meaningless. The pain you've endured was never accidental. The spiritual pressure, the emotional collapse, the strange interruptions that showed up just when you were getting close to breakthrough, none of it happened by coincidence. It was all intentional. Every storm, every setback, every delay was a targeted assault against a chosen vessel. And that vessel is you. The enemy does not attack what he is not threatened by. Darkness only surrounds what heaven is preparing to crown. If the past season has felt like warfare without rest, it's because you carry weight in the spirit realm. You may not have seen it. Others may have overlooked it. But the enemy knew. He saw what was written over your life. He saw the scrolls. He saw the angelic activities surrounding your name. He saw the divine appointments lining up in the heavens. And so he launched a series of attacks to wear you down before the release could arrive. But what the enemy never calculated was your resilience. He didn't expect you to hold on when everything fell apart. He didn't expect you to worship in the dark. He didn't expect you to keep praying when nothing changed. And yet you did. You kept standing, even when the ground shook beneath you. You kept believing, even when the silence of God was deafening. That's not weakness, that's evidence of divine DNA. It's proof you were chosen to carry something eternal. Listen closely now. Every disappointment you've endured was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to develop you. A betrayal wasn't punishment. The heartbreak wasn't God turning his back on you. It was a divine setup, a test of your posture under pressure. Heaven watched you when the doors closed. Heaven watched you when people walked away. Heaven listened for your response in the silence. And while you thought you were alone, angels were standing at the corners of your life, waiting to record your obedience. Nothing you suffered has been wasted. Every tear was captured. Every sleepless night was counted. Every hidden act of righteousness was written in the books. You thought no one saw the sacrifices, the silent discipline, the secret prayers. But heaven saw, and heaven approved. This is why the 5 angels are now en route. Because your season of testing has qualified you for a season of visitation. You need to understand, the warfare was never about what you lost. It was about how you waited. Heaven didn't watch what was taken from you. Heaven watched what you chose to surrender without bitterness. The trial was a mirror, revealing your readiness for glory. And beloved, you passed. And now, with the enemy exposed and heaven's favor released, the miracle that was once held back is now released. It is moving. It is forming. It is finding its way into your hands, your house, your heart. The very thing that was delayed is now arriving with multiplied power, and nothing will stop it this time. The conflict was the confirmation. The pain was the prophecy. The silence was the setup. And now, the shift is here. The angels have not forgotten you. Heaven has not overlooked you. And your miracle has not missed its mark. You are about to receive what eyes have not seen, what ears have not heard, and what the enemy tried, but failed, to delay. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. Hear this now with all urgency in your soul. The dispatch has already been released. The gates of heaven have opened. The 5 appointed angels, each bearing a miracle on your behalf, have crossed the threshold of eternity and are now moving toward you. The time of waiting is over. The silence has broken. The countdown has begun, not to delay but to divine delivery. And the atmosphere around you will not remain neutral. Within 72 hours, evidence will knock at your door. Whether spiritual or physical, visible or concealed, a sign will arrive. It may come through a message. It may come through a person. It may come through an unexpected shift that seems small to others but rings loud in your spirit. This moment is not metaphor. It is movement. It is real. And it is now. The 5 angels assigned, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, and Jophiel, are not on their way. They have already been released. Their wings are moving. Their mission is active. Their orders are sealed. And your name is written on the scroll they carry. But hear this, not everyone will be glad about what's coming. When heaven begins to move in your favor, hell always scrambles in resistance. The enemy is aware. He's felt the shift. He's seen the light gather around your name. And now, he will attempt to launch interference, not through demons in the dark, but through distractions in the natural. Be vigilant. You may notice increased tension in conversations, strained miscommunications, moments of emotional turmoil that seem sudden and unjustified. These are not random. They are designed disturbances to distract you from the arrival of what's been appointed. Now is not the time to explain yourself. Now is not the time to engage arguments. Now is not the time to react to provocations. This is a holy hour, and your silence is your shield. The angels are moving on your behalf, but they require a clear path, and that means guarding your spirit, watching your words, and staying in divine alignment. The spiritual pressure may increase, but so will the supernatural power. Every second draws heaven closer to your doorstep. You may feel restless. You may feel the strange vibration in your chest. You may notice the shift in energy in your home, your relationships, your thoughts. Don't fear it. Discern it. Heaven is pushing through the veil. What you are sensing is the divine colliding with the natural. What you are feeling is the sound of angelic wings breaking atmosphere. Your atmosphere is being prepared. Your home is being marked. Your future is being rewritten. Let no man, no voice, no spirit tell you otherwise. This is a prophetic moment, and it is tied to prophetic obedience. God is not sending blessings randomly. He is sending them to the houses that are listening, to the hearts that are alert, to the spirits that are still. If the enemy cannot stop the angels, he will try to distract you long enough to miss them. You not fall for his schemes. A knock is coming. It may be a phone call, a letter, an email, an encounter, a dream, a vision, or a divine impression on your heart. It may not look like what you imagined, but it will carry the fingerprints of God. The 5 miracles are in motion: peace, healing, provision, reconciliation, and breakthrough. And within 72 hours, one or more will begin to manifest. This is not a season to sleep in the Spirit. This is a time to stay awake. Be still, be watchful, and be ready. What's about to arrive has been prayed for, warred for, wept over, and delayed long enough. It's finally en route, and nothing can stop what heaven has already released. Type "I am ready" to receive in the comments if your spirit is aligned. Blessing code 1515 is now covering your home. Now that the miracle is in motion, your posture matters more than ever. The presence of the 5 angels is drawing near, and with them comes not only divine blessing, but divine protection. The warfare around your life is real, but so is the defense of heaven. The Most High has not only released a miracle into your life, but has also surrounded that miracle with warriors. Michael stands with his sword. Gabriel stands with his voice. Raphael stands with his healing. Uriel stands with his light. Jophiel stands with his wisdom. You are not alone. You are not unguarded. And you are not unarmed, because your greatest weapon now is your stillness. This is the moment where the battlefield shifts. No longer are you required to strive. No longer are you expected to explain yourself to people who never carried your calling. No longer must you convince others of what you know God has shown you. This is not the time to explain. It is the time to observe. For what God is doing now in your life will not be explained in words. It will be proven in evidence. The tables are turning, and the proof of divine favor will speak louder than any defense ever could. Withdraw from the chaos. Step back from the noise. Step away from the opinions, the drama, the temptation to fight in your own strength. This moment is holy, and it must be honored with reverence. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is alignment. When you are still, you make room for the angels to move. When you are quiet, you clear the air for heaven's sound to enter. Silence is not just absence of noise. Silence is the signal that you trust the throne more than your own hands. The enemy thrives in noise. Confusion is his atmosphere. But heaven moves in stillness. The Spirit broods over quiet waters. Miracles land in peaceful places. That is why your next step is not action. It is surrender. It is to create a sanctuary, not only physically but spiritually. A space where the angels can land without interruption. A space that is clean, cleared, and consecrated. You don't need to fight what God is already confronting. You don't need to chase what is already assigned to find you. What belongs to you will arrive without striving, but it will not arrive into chaos. That is why the command has come down, be still. Let heaven fight. Every unseen force that tried to intercept your release is now being addressed. Every monitoring spirit that tried to stalk your breakthrough is now being blinded. Every witchcraft word spoken against your future is being reversed. The angels are standing guard, and your only task now is to rest in the assurance that you are covered. While you sleep, the heavens move. While you breathe in worship, the earth realigns. While you sit in silence, scrolls are opening, and the pages of your story are being rewritten. What no eye has seen and no ear has heard is unfolding around you even now. The storm outside may grow louder, but the command is clear. Do not move. Do not panic. Do not explain. Observe. Wait. Word him. Stay still. Say this aloud wherever you are. No weapon formed against my house shall prosper. I am covered. My home is a sanctuary. The angels of God are stationed here. Let those words soak into the walls. Let them echo into the unseen. Let them rise like incense before the throne. You are being protected from battles you never knew were coming. You are being hidden from ambushes you could not see. And you are being prepared for a miracle that can only descend into the atmosphere of faith. Keep your peace. Your silence is a prophetic act. It is louder than your enemies. It is stronger than your fears. And it is the confirmation that you trust the one who has never lost a battle. Type "Heaven is fighting for me" in the comments if you receive this word. Lesson code 909 is now active over your dwelling. Let this truth settle deep into your spirit now. You are not the same. From the very moment this message reached your ears, something within you began to transform. You may not have felt it instantly, but heaven marked a shift the second your name aligned with this prophetic dispatch. You have crossed a spiritual threshold. The pain that once defined you has been repurposed. The silence that once confused you has been sanctified. The suffering that once overwhelmed you has been weighed, and now it has birthed power. Heaven does not visit what is not first refined. And you, beloved, have been refined in fire. There were seasons where you cried alone, questioned everything, and nearly gave up. But those seasons didn't bury you. They built you. There were days when the weight of waiting threatened to break your mind, but still you stood. Not because you were strong in your own strength, but because heaven was weaving you into a vessel of glory. You were being stripped of what was temporary so that you could carry what is eternal. You were being emptied not because you were rejected, but because heaven wanted to fill you with something greater. Now hear this with clarity. You have passed the test. You have been weighed and found faithful. What once felt like abandonment was God allowing space for metamorphosis. You were not being overlooked. You were being reformed in secret. The cocoon felt like isolation, but it was a hiding place for transformation. And now, your wings are ready. You are rising. You are emerging with authority. You are stepping into a version of yourself that hell hoped you'd never discover. There is a fire in you now that cannot be quenched. There is a discernment in your spirit that cannot be manipulated. There is a boldness growing in your bones that will terrify the enemy. You were broken, but not destroyed. You were attacked, but not defeated. You were delayed, but never denied. What was meant to silence you has only activated your voice, and what was meant to kill you has qualified you for resurrection power. Now is the time to move in that revelation. You are not just waiting on angels to deliver a miracle. You are hosting the atmosphere that attracts them. You are a dwelling place of promise. You are a carrier of heavenly momentum. And everything around you must now shift to reflect who you have become. The way you pray must shift. The way you speak must shift. The way you carry yourself must reflect the authority of one who has been marked by the Most High. You are not beneath anymore. You are not forgotten. You are not barely making it. You are not at the mercy of the storm. You are seated in heavenly places. You are rising with wings of gold, clothed in the oil of survival, surrounded by the flame of purpose. The silence that protected you has become your strength. The stillness that guarded you has become your sword. And now your presence is a warning to darkness. This one is covered. This one has seen the fire. This one cannot be shaken. So I declare this over your life now. Walk boldly. Speak with fire. Pray with confidence. Expect with certainty. Stand with the quiet roar of one who has overcome the trial and now stands in triumph. You are not waiting for permission. You are moving in destiny. Heaven has already said yes. The angels are already dispatched. The promise is already sealed. You are not who you used to be. You are reborn in power. Type "I am walking in authority" in the comments if this word confirms your shift. Blessing code 888 hath been activated in your spirit. Let this revelation settle into your bones. This miracle was not randomly selected. It was not a last-minute decision. It was not triggered by your good deeds or your long prayers. It was written into the architecture of your life before you took your first breath. What you are about to receive was already planned in eternity, but heaven had to make sure you were ready to carry it. You were being prepared, shaped, and aligned for heavenly delivery. The waiting wasn't punishment. The silence wasn't abandonment. It was heaven staging your life for a visitation that no man, no demon, and no delay could ever deny. The 5 angels were not dispatched because of a crisis. They were dispatched because of your calling. God saw the exact moment your spirit would come into agreement with your assignment. Heaven knew the very second your heart would be still enough to host what has been hovering just beyond reach. And now the release has been triggered. The atmosphere has shifted. The time has come. The delivery is moving. Michael is bringing divine justice to everything that was mishandled, mislabeled, or misused in your life. Gabriel is announcing what eyes have not seen, what ears have not heard, and what hearts have not conceived. Raphael is carrying healing in his wings for your mind, your body, your soul, and even your bloodline. Uriel is illuminating the dark corners of your journey, giving you clarity, wisdom, and supernatural direction. And Jophiel is decorating your destiny with favor, joy, and beauty for ashes. These 5 angels have not simply been sent to bless you. They have been sent to fulfill what was foretold. And now, hear this. Your house hath been marked for visitation. This means no matter who doubts, no matter who walks away, no matter what circumstances rise, the mark is there. It's spiritual. It's visible in the realm of light. Your house has become a landing pad for the presence of God. You are not chasing favor. Favor is chasing you. The angels are not wandering. They are coming with precision. They know where to go because your obedience has created a signal in the spirit. Your stillness has been a beacon. Your waiting has been worship. Your tears have been a sound only heaven could interpret. And the response is now on its way. Everything that felt stuck is about to flow. Everything that felt delayed is about to be accelerated. The doors that wouldn't open are about to swing wide. But this is not about material success. This is about destiny fulfillment. This is the season where you realize that what was delayed was never denied. It was divinely timed. And now, you are about to see why you had to cry the way you did. Why you had to lose what you lost. Why you had to sit in silence. Because the reward is about to overtake the pain. The glory is about to outweigh the grief. And the miracle is going to arrive in a way that no one will be able to take credit for but God. Before 72 hours ends, a sign will come. It will not be vague. It will not be coincidental. It will be confirmation. It will be the evidence that this message was not a message. It was a movement. It was not content. It was covenant. And the moment that sign appears, everything in your spirit will say, this is it. Heaven has rang. Type my house is marked for miracles in the comments if you believe this word. Blessing code 3333 hath been released over your home. Heaven is moving, and so must we. If this message ignited your spirit, if something stirred in your soul that said, this word was for me, then now is the time to step into divine partnership. You're not just listening, you're aligning. You're not just receiving, you're helping carry this fire to others. When you give, you're not giving to a platform, you're giving to the harvest. Souls are hanging in the balance, and your support turns a single message into a global miracle. God said in 2 Corinthians 9:10 that He gives seed to the sower. This is your seed moment. Your giving activates more than a blessing. It multiplies the anointing. Whether through YouTube membership, super thanks, or PayPal linked in the description, you can help send this word to the next waiting soul. Don't treat this lightly. Let your offering be prophetic. Let it be warfare. Let it be worship. Move now. Sow into this moment. And watch what heaven releases in return. Now the moment has come. The moment where revelation must meet response. For too long, the enemy has tried to keep you in a cycle of waiting without activation. But not anymore. This word was never meant to simply comfort you. It was sent to activate you. Heaven is moving. The angels are already on their way. A miracle is no longer delayed. But now, heaven is waiting on one final thing, your yes. You cannot afford to remain passive when the wind of God is moving in your direction. Passivity is a prison. Delay is a decision. But obedience is a doorway, and the key to that door is in your mouth. Say it aloud right now, wherever you are. My house is open to the miracle. My angels are welcome here. Don't say it softly. Declare it with the authority of someone who knows their atmosphere has been marked. This is your moment to come into divine agreement with what heaven has already released. Miracles do not just fall, they land where faith is active. The angels are not looking for a perfect environment. They are looking for a prepared one. They are seeking a space where the atmosphere is aligned with faith, purity, and expectancy. That means your space must reflect the glory you're expecting. Clean the space. Consecrate it. Lay worship in the atmosphere. Let the sound of your home match the sound of heaven. Make room. Make space. Make noise, not noise of distraction, but noise of expectation. But let me remind you, This is not about physical preparation alone. The greater altar is within you. Heaven is not only coming to your house, it's coming to your heart. You must posture yourself as a co-creator with the divine. You are not a passive observer in this moment. You are a participant. God has given you dominion. You have authority in the realm of the Spirit. When you speak, heaven moves. When you align, angels descend. And when you obey, heaven accelerates. So activate now. Begin to prepare. Spiritually clean the areas of your life that you know have become cluttered. Remove distractions. Forgive you need to forgive. Release who you need to release. Speak what you need to speak. Declare what you need to declare. You don't have time for delay. You don't have time for self-doubt. This moment has been designed by eternity, and it must be met with action in the present. What was once on pause is now being released by your obedience. The delay was real, but so is the dispatch. The miracle is no longer pending. It's no longer held up. But your voice, your posture, your preparation is what unlocks its full manifestation. This is what it means to be a co-laborer with heaven. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are welcoming it. So stand up in your spirit. Egg off the grave. Break agreement with the fear. Declare that your house is the house heaven has chosen to visit. You are not random. You are not overlooked. You are not second in line. You are not forgotten. You are the chosen dwelling for divine demonstration. Say yes. Say yes loudly. Say yes with your actions. Say yes with your declarations. Say yes with your preparation. And as you say yes, watch heaven move like never before. The miracle has already left the throne. The angels are already moving. The moment is already unfolding. All that's left is your yes. Type my yes is activated in the comments if you are aligned with heaven's timing. Blessing code 717 has just unlocked your next level. There is a holy exchange happening right now, not in the noise, not in the chaos, but in the silence. As your spirit aligns with heaven's timetable, as your atmosphere grows still, there is movement in the invisible. Heaven is negotiating your restoration. While you rest, the angels war. While you sit in quiet surrender, the courts of heaven are in session. Decrees are being written in light. Scrolls are being unsealed. And everything the enemy thought he could steal is being recalculated, not just to return to you, but to return multiplied. You must understand this truth. Nothing you lost went unnoticed. Not one moment of heartbreak, not one stolen opportunity, not one dream that was delayed escaped the watchful eyes of the Most High. Even when you thought your prayers had dissolved into the ceiling, they were being gathered like incense. Even when you cried silently in the night, your tears became a currency in the spirit realm. Every moment of suffering became a seed. And now, the harvest is in motion. The angels assigned to your life are not merely bringing answers. They are conducting a divine reversal, a spiritual trait of heaven's design. For every moment the enemy mocked you, there is now a decree of restoration. For every year you wandered through wilderness seasons, there is now a multiplication of purpose. For every relationship the enemy fractured, a new alignment is forming. This is the beauty of God's justice. He does not return things in the condition they were taken. He returns them transformed, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. The spiritual exchange is happening quietly. That is why you may feel unusual sensations even now. A heaviness leaving your chest, a lightness coming over your shoulders, an unexplainable sense of relief. That is not emotion. It is divine release. Heaven is lifting burdens you didn't even know you were carrying. Documents are being signed in the realm of light. Destinies are being rerouted back to your address. There are doors that closed prematurely, and now those same doors are being rehinged by the hands of angels. This is why your soul felt so restless in the last season. It wasn't because you were confused. It was because your spirit was catching a glimpse of activity beyond the veil. You didn't have the words for it, but something in you knew. Something was shifting. Something was moving. And now, you know exactly what it was. A divine negotiation. A transfer of stolen things back into your possession. A spiritual refund for what was lost, broken, or stolen. And here's what must anchor you in this hour. The enemy overplayed his hand. He pushed you too far. He tried to do what you. And now heaven has ruled in your favor. What was once being used to drain you is now being reversed to elevate you. The very situations that were meant to deplete your spirit will now display the power of God in your life. But you must remain silent in your flesh while this exchange finalizes in the spirit. You do not need to explain what God is doing. You do not need to defend what is manifesting. Just stay still. Stay hidden. Stay ready. Because what's coming will not require justification. It will carry divine proof. You won't need to convince anyone of what's happening. The evidence will speak. So, wait with expectation. Wait with holiness. Wait with fire in your belly and stillness in your mind. The trade is underway. What was stolen is not only coming back, it's coming back with interest. You will receive it empty. You'll receive it full, overflowing, and irrevocable. Type I receive my divine exchange in the comments if your spirit is ready. Blessing code 1212 is in motion over your destiny. The courtroom of heaven has spoken, and the verdict is clear. Divine justice is not coming. It is already in motion. The balances that once felt tipped against you are now shifting in your favor. The scales that once seemed broken have been touched by the hand of God, and they are now realigned. Every wrong that was done against you, every plot whispered in secret, every trap set beneath your feet has now become the very platform where glory will rise. This is not just restoration. This is reversal. You are not imagining the change in the atmosphere. You are not overthinking the shift you feel in your spirit. Something truly has turned. And it didn't turn because people apologized. It didn't turn because things made sense. It turned because heaven intervened. While others were scheming, the angels were writing. While you were silent, the courts of God were not. While you were grieving, the Spirit was testifying. And now, divine reversal is being signed into existence. They spoke against you, but now your name is being honored in rooms they tried to keep you out of. They laughed at your delays, but now your acceleration will shock them. They tried to bury your reputation, but now God is raising your name from the dust with favor. This is not just compensation. This is not just repayment. This is justice, holy, perfect, prophetic justice. And it comes with speed. Those who thought they'd succeeded in cursing you will watch as heaven blesses you in plain sight. Those who stole what was yours, your peace, your position, your promise, will be witnesses as it returns to you sevenfold. This is what happens when God says, "Touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm." Heaven does not forget. Heaven repays. Let it be made clear, you are not vindictive. You are not revengeful. You are not bitter. You are vindicated. You have passed the test of silence. You have endured the injustice without corruption. You held your peace while others lost their integrity. And because you didn't take vengeance into your own hands, God has taken vengeance into his. The same situations that nearly broke you will now become the stage for your breakthrough. The very places where you were dismissed will soon call your name with honor. Where you were overlooked, you will now be spotlighted by grace. Where doors were slammed shut in your face, new doors, bigger, stronger, divine doors, are opening with ease. Heaven is reversing the order, and it's happening faster than you think. Don't be surprised when those who disrespected your value return with confusion in their eyes. Don't be shocked when invitations start arriving from sources that once ignored you. Don't flinch when favor begins to fall so thick that even your enemies can't deny it. This is not random. It is heaven's response to injustice. The Lord himself has stepped in. The gavel has fallen, and the verdict is favor. Every delay is now being reversed into acceleration. Every betrayal is being reversed into promotion. Every loss is being reversed into overflow. The devil didn't just lose. He is being publicly humiliated. The people who cursed your name will now watch your oil overflow. This is your public compensation for private pain. And yet, do not rejoice with pride. Rejoice with humility. This is not the time to gloat. This is the time to glorify. For all that is coming, for all that is being restored, remember, it was never your might. It was always your surrender. Type divine justice is mine in the comments if this word resonates in your spirit. Blessing code 1919 is now sealing your reversal. And now, beloved, we have come to the end of the message, but this is only the beginning of the miracle. What your spirit has heard is not just encouragement, it is a decree. It is not simply content to be consumed, it is a divine calling to be embraced. From the very first line, the heavens bore witness that this was a moment carved from eternity. You did not stumble across this by accident. You did not find this video randomly. You were led here. You were summoned here. Heaven directed your steps, and now the final confirmation has been released. In this hour, there is a sacred stillness rising in the air, a hush that precedes the hand of God. The 5 angels have been dispatched. The countdown has not been delayed. It is active, ongoing, and unstoppable. And whether you feel it fully or not, the miracle has already begun to take form. Before the clock strikes the 72nd hour, something undeniable will shift. Whether in your heart, your household, your health, your finances, your relationships, or your atmosphere, the sign will come. Now lift your head. Lift your spirit. Let hope rise again in your bones. I declare this blessing over you now. May your home be filled with light. May your ears hear the sound of angelic movement. May your heart remain tender and open. And may your faith stretch wide enough to hold what heaven is about to drop into your life. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. And every single second leading to this message has been a setup for your visitation. Now walk forward with fire in your eyes and stillness in your soul. This is not the end. This is the delivery zone. A miracle is in transit. The angels are closer than ever. The release has already been written. And your testimony is about to begin. The angels are already in motion. The miracle is in transit. Within 72 hours, you will testify. It is not coming. It is done. It is finished. It is written. It is sealed. Type "IT is done" in the comments if this final word confirms everything inside of you. Blessing code 000 is now released into your timeline. You heard the word. You felt the stirring. You know this was a divine appointment. If your heart is burning and your spirit says this message was mine, then I invite you, not to give, but to partner. Partner with the prophetic. Partner with the oil that just unlocked something eternal in your life. This isn't about supporting a channel. It's about fueling the fire of God's voice across the earth. Just as the angel delivered your miracle, you now have the chance to help deliver someone else's. When you give through Super Thanks, YouTube membership, or PayPal in the description, you are sowing into breakthrough, not just for yourself, but for the multitudes still waiting for their word. Isaiah 55:11 says, "My word will not return void, and today, your giving becomes a divine echo that multiplies that word in the lives of others." This is holy ground. Let your seed speak. Give as heaven leads. And may your support return to you in miracles only God can explain.